What's going on, guys? It's Chris here, back in the building with the Week 24 Premier League predictions. And I have to say, it has been an absolutely crazy week following the aftermath of Week 23 because of the fact that one team's title challenge, one team's title defence, could be unravelling in front of our very eyes. Could Manchester City pull away firmly and take home the Premier League title? And another team's struggles, well, they just keep on continuing. But before I get into this week's predictions, I'm going to mention a few of the notable games that turned out following last week. And Aston Villa versus Arsenal, Arsenal's problems just keep on continuing following that 1-0 loss against Aston Villa at Villa Park. And without being disrespectful to Aston Villa, but Arsenal as a team are just a mess at the minute. No more needs to be said. However, Villa, they played well defensively, scored a goal within the first 3 minutes, got the job done, took home the 3 points. Need I say more? But Man United, United kind of just bottled it and chucked away 2 points, which is arguably crucial in not only the title race, but even the top 4 places, because at this very moment in time, as a Man United fan, I don't think that we're mathematically and theoretically assured of a top 4 place. Well, obviously mathematically, but theoretically, I still think it's literally, 4, maybe 5 teams up for 3 places maybe at best. But still, I'm hoping that we can make top 4 as the bare minimum at this very moment in time. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, could Liverpool's title defence be unravelling in front of our very own eyes? Well, it looks like it following their 4-1 defeat at home at Anfield, especially when City barely have taken points from Anfield in recent seasons, and that shouldn't really come as a surprise to anyone given Liverpool's run of form at the minute. But without further ado, let's get started on this week's predictions. The fixtures are up on the screen right now, but I'm not going to have the timer because there are 4 teams that are playing twice this week. And I'm going to start off with the early kickoff, Leicester versus Liverpool, and I think Liverpool's wretched run will continue and Leicester will take home another 3 points and beat another top 6 team. Among their top 6 team scalps, I think Liverpool will now officially join the list once again. And Leicester are going to win 2-1, and I'm going to be bold and I'm going to be brave. Crystal Palace versus Burnley, well, Burnley have kind of gotten by with the odd 1 or 2 1-0 wins. However, I think this match is going to be quite a low quality affair, dare I say it, and hopefully my comment does not age well. However, game will end in a 1-1 draw, which in all fairness probably is going to be a bit boring, so that's something to just kind of divert your attention away from. Next up though, we've got the game of the week, which is Manchester City versus Tottenham. However, even though Tottenham have Harry Kane back in the side and firing once again, however, I still don't think there'll be any match for this Manchester City team. City to win 3-1, but won't run absolutely riot for once. Next up, Brighton versus Aston Villa. As I mentioned, Aston Villa, I'm expecting to perform quite strongly on the defensive side of affairs, and I think that should continue going into this game against Brighton, but Villa to win 2-0. Now time for the Sunday games, and first up we've got Southampton versus Wolves, where Southampton actually beat Wolves 2-0 in the FA Cup. Nearly forgot the score there for a minute. However, I think it will be very different to what will happen, what had happened in the FA Cup, but the game will end in a nicely poised 1-1 draw. Next up, West Brom versus Man United, and yes, there are shades of United's final game under Sir Alex Ferguson emerging. However, I don't think it will end in a 5-5 draw like it did on Alex Ferguson's final game. But United, I think, will win 2-0, end of story, and hopefully we can take home another valuable 3 points, because in all fairness, anything less than a win is really poor in our book. But moving on, Arsenal versus Leeds. Alioski kind of said on social media that he was looking forward to this game and looking forward to taking on his mate Nicolas Pepe. Sorry, Arsenal fans, but I do have to bring up his red card following the game that took place in November. So it was a bit of classic gamesmanship from Alioski right there. However, I think, like I did in November, I think the game will end in another 1-1 draw. Next up, the final game on Sunday, we've got Everton versus Fulham. Everton, even though they fought hard against United, and arguably it was down to our poor defending as a United fan. However, I think with Dominic Calvert-Lewin firing once again, I think Everton can win it 2-1. And now time for the Monday games, where we have West Ham versus Sheffield United. Well, Sheffield United on a really wretched run themselves. Don't look like they're getting out of it anytime soon. West Ham are merely just going to impose further misery on the Blades. West Ham United to win 2-0. Next up for the last of Monday's games, we have got Chelsea versus Newcastle. Newcastle, although they won 3-2 against Southampton last weekend, I think given their run of fixtures at the minute, which is quite nasty in the grand scheme of things, I think Chelsea should get the job done and win 2-0, but it won't be a thrashing of such. And now time for the teams that are playing for the second time in this game week. And first up, we've got Burnley versus Fulham. But like I said, Burnley, I think they're just going to scrape by and take a 1-0 win in that game. And next up, we've got Everton versus Manchester City to round it all off. However, as much as I mentioned that Calvert-Lewin and co are kind of firing on all fronts, I think City will try and find a way to nullify them and win 3-1. And on that note, guys, that is the end of my Week 24 predictions. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But as always, guys, we're still in the middle of lockdown. Just checking on your friends and family from time to time. If you guys want to check out my Week 23 predictions, as I mentioned, then the video happens to be right here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel right here. And until next weekend, guys, peace out.